What up, y'all? Sorry I didn't do a video yesterday. I figured I wanted to kind of let my Avatar Netflix run get a little bit of views too. But I figure I couldn't do my list this week, and I'm gonna unfortunately have to say list videos are gonna have to be on pause. I couldn't do it today, and then I'm not gonna be able to do it Monday next week. I'll still do a video, but it won't be a list. It might just be a normal review that day. But today, I figure I might still do it, but I might just do 2 points. Mainly, though, I figured, I like doing fixings after, like, something shitty comes out. And I figure, why not do an attempted fixing on the Netflix Avatar? But before I do that, I will talk about, I was going to make a video a little bit about just the state of the franchise. And I figure we'll do that really quick in this, too. So it'll be kind of 2-in-1. But I'll probably still title it fixing the Netflix Avatar series, but I will probably, like I said, I'm going to preface it. I might put in the description that I am going to talk about a little bit of the state of the franchise, too. So I figured just do two birds in one stone instead of doing two separate videos. And, like, pretty much the state of the franchise is just, it's not in a good place. And I love this IP, but it's just not in a good place right now. I mean, you had the phenomenal series, and then unfortunately the movie came out, and then we got that really bad Korra show, which, I did a whole video on the movie, so I'm not going to really touch on the movie too much. I mean, enough said, or Indian fucking Fire Nation, like, just little things like that. So, like, this, alright, I don't want to spend too much time on the movie. Like, everybody said, what's the problem with the movie? Korra just wasn't good. I know some people like it. I didn't. It arguably was kind of I'm not going to say it started woke, but it definitely, like, you had essentially, she was a proto Mary Sue. I mean, when you have her as a baby start off using all the elements, they missed the whole point of the original series. Missed the point of the original series. Is that Aang? I mean, I'm rewatching it right now. Aang's the Avatar, but he's not this super powerful being. He questions himself constantly. He has to learn all the elements. What was the whole point of those original 3 seasons? And then you just, nope, we're gonna miss the point, and we gotta make her Mary Sue and just have her already know the elements as a baby. Like, come on. And not just that, you make her really unlikable. I'll be honest, I watched like 3 or 4 episodes of the Korra show, and I just couldn't do it. And then I saw like later clips, and I felt like it got worse. I didn't like what they did to my boy Aang, and just I would have rather them just did an adult Aang show. Like, whatever you think of the Ben 10 series, Ben 10 did it smart. They were like, okay, Ben's 10, and then we're gonna make him a teenager, because there's like a Ben 10 show where he's like older, they make him like a teenager. It's like, you should have just did something like that with Avatar. You just should have did an adult Aang show. Maybe make it about his kid or something. Like, I just think we should have just did that instead of this Korra show that really no one needed, which was just done just so you could have a strong female Avatar, which you could have had if you just made it like Aang's daughter or something. And it would have been done in a more, and actually make her likable too. You made her unlikable. That's the one thing, at least Rey, as bad as her character is in the sequel trilogy, she was at least likable. They didn't make her like a bitch. Korra straight up trash, like a trash person in the show. And I'm like, how do people like this character? Anyway, before we get into the Netflix series, I'm not going to go too on about it. I did a 40-minute video about it. But yeah, like the Netflix series, just you like I said, they did not know. They never watched the original series. Whoever made that, so it's like you just made a soulless show, and I figured now going to the fixing section of the video, because I think the Netflix series had the most potential out of all of them. Because I think Netflix, if they actually have a good creator, have a good showrunner, I think they can have good shows. It's just they, I don't know, just hired whoever to make this. So, or the idea. And I just think the franchise is frustrating. It's just because I think Avatar is so ripe for a live action adaptation. I think the story, you could easily make a trilogy of movies, or you know, even a newer series. You know, maybe smaller. You cut smaller things out, but you can do a live action adaptation of Avatar done right. Would be perfect. So that's what I'm gonna try to make here. So the idea where I'm gonna go with season one, it'd be book one basically. No, we're not adding some random shit from later books. No, you keep it basically season one. You keep it simple. Get a charismatic actor who can portray being a whimsical kid, and also when he has to become a badass. And that's what you. And also, the thing I'm going to be going for when I cast Aang, Katara, and Sokka, I want to make sure that the three people I'm casting, they all have chemistry with each other. Because you're rewatching the series, I'm really noticing this. How much you follow these characters. These are like the main characters you follow. I mean, yeah, then you know they'll cut to Zuko and Iroh looking for Aang, but largely you're following Aang, Katara, and Sokka. And I feel like you need to go that route with it. You need to just get. You got to make sure these characters all have chemistry because these are going to be the characters you're following for either 2 hours, 2.5 hours, or you know, for for 8 episodes. And when you don't have that, and you get shit like the show where they have no chemistry with each other. So I would absolutely definitely make sure of that. Ozai, as much as I didn't mind the guy who played him in the show. I would have gone for like a Hiroki Sanada. I think he would have pulled off being Ozai perfectly. The Fire Nation, definitely. The one thing I'll take from that shitty Netflix show, I think they did make they did the Fire Nation well. They were treated as a threat, and but I would definitely go further with it. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not saying go full on gore, but I do think we need to see the Fire Nation do really fucked up shit, and I think that's where I would go with it. Not saying I'm gonna see them saying they need to burn somebody alive, but like something close to that, like just something where we can show like these guys are bad and you want them to get beat. Also, you treat Roku with respect. I wouldn't have shown Avatar Kyoshi until like episode later on. I'd probably have Roku be the first real Avatar he meets. I think that just works better for the story. Get a really good actor to play Zuko. Someone who's like, you know, can portray being a hot-headed, teen. Or, I guess he'd be like early adult age probably. I'd probably say closer to like college age, I guess, if you want to say. But yeah, get someone around that age. I wouldn't do Azula, at least this season. I'd maybe mention her, but I would not mention her. I would not have her be a part of the series like they did. It doesn't make any sense. She should be more in the background. If you want to introduce her, you introduce her maybe the end of season 1, like the last episode. You cut to Ozai and then he's talking to his daughter. Something like that. I don't think you need to have her in throughout the series. I think it doesn't really make any sense. She's not really in book 1. Neither is Ozai in general. Even just rewatching him, like 7 or 8 episodes in, and we haven't seen Ozai yet, really, because he's been mentioned, but you don't actually see him. Really, I think that just works better. Like I like that build up to him. So, granted, I have a little creative freedom. I don't think it hurts to show him a bit, especially if I'm getting an actor Hiroki Sanada. I'm gonna make use of him. I'm not gonna have him do action stuff. I'll just maybe talking to like his people, and then get a good actor. I think they got for Iroh to actually keep. I think what I would do, I'd just give him something to work with. you gotta give them something to work with so they're not wooden. Because I think I think that actor could be good. I think in his case, I think they just didn't give him anything to work with. Everyone else, they were legit wooden. I think you have to, you gotta really cast right for, but mainly Aang, Katara, and Sokka, you gotta cast right and make sure they have chemistry because you're gonna follow these three for either over 2 hours. I think Avatar you can make into about 2 hours or a little bit over if you're being honest. Or you or an 8 episode or 10 episode series. You're following these characters for however really long time in that case. So you better make sure they have chemistry. But I think in both cases you got to make sure because these are your core characters. I probably wouldn't do Earthbender stuff. I mean, I would do Earthbenders, but I wouldn't. I would redo Boomy. I think they did King. I should have mentioned this in the video. They did King Boomy wrong. They made him like a douche, like an asshole, because he's all pissy about like Avatar being gone, even though that wasn't necessarily Aang's fault. So it's just like things like that. I'd make him better. I would not introduce Toph until like season 2 or 3, and even mid season 2. I'd probably still mainly stick to the main 3 for a little bit. Azula, granted, when I do eventually introduce her, she's gonna be like the show. You get a fucking charismatic woman. You need a woman who has a bit of screen presence, but also can play a brat, but also can play evil. Because Azula is evil. We're not doing this. We got to make her sympathetic because Whammon, and also because every villain needs to be sympathetic. No, she's evil. That's one of the reasons I love her. So I'd even, like I said, if you want to do older Azula, granted, I'd have to go older with Zuko, but I'd actually be fine. Just get a woman that age who can. Actually, I think the girl from. I know she wasn't great in the Monarch show, but she's so far really good in the Shogun show. If she can showcase like a dark side of herself, because looks wise, I could see her as Azula, but if she could actually portray being bad, I definitely think you need to get someone like that who has charisma. I think make sure every actor and every character they're not wooden. Well, yeah, and this is just a simple one. I shouldn't even have to say it, but Hollywood is so retarded, you almost have to say it. I'm definitely not going to do the tell, not show thing. I'm actually going to show, not tell. Or, occasionally, I'll do both. But I'm not going to just give you just a bunch of exposition dumps. Because that's just not good writing in general. In, like, any kind of way. Just telling me a bunch of shit instead of just showing me. Or even doing both, but when you're just telling me shit, and it's just pointless, and it just makes the show, especially if you're doing a show. Grant, I guess we're gonna stick to a show because we're fixing the Netflix one. But yeah, I would have just gone more route of just sticking to mainly book 1. Make sure you have Aang, Katara, and Sokka have chemistry because, like I said, you're following them, especially for 8 episodes or even 10 episodes. You gotta make sure they have chemistry because these are the characters you're gonna follow. Like I said, I'm not gonna show. I'll probably have more Ozai, but I'm not bringing in Azula. I might have her mentioned, but I don't necessarily think she's not necessarily really important to the first book anyway. She makes more sense to bring her in like season 2. That's when you bring her in. You don't bring her in right now. At least not early on. Maybe, like I said, the last episode, you cut to Ozai after, like, I would do the Commander Zhao story, who's, I think, the actor they got for him, I'd actually keep that guy. I actually think he was just wasted because the story was bad, but I think he was actually not a bad performance as Zhao. So Zhao, obviously, works for Ozai, and obviously he wants to capture the Avatar for himself, basically to gain favor with. And I think the actress they got for Yue, Princess Yue, was actually pretty good too. So there's some actors from that shitty show I might keep. So, no, not Aang, Katara, no. They're getting recast, but like actor for Iroh I'd maybe keep. I don't know if I'd probably recast Zuko, to be honest. I didn't think the guy they got really portrayed Zuko well. Azula's getting recast, but she's not really going to be part of the season. I'm just going to be honest. I think she works better in the background when you don't you introduce. She works better when you introduce her later on. I would try to definitely show the danger of the Fire Nation and why they have to be stopped. And I think the show did do a bad job at this, the Netflix one. So better effects and just simple shit like that. Like, no show, tell, not show. Just keep it simple. And that's pretty much what I would do. And then, season 2 that's when you go more into the other, Aang's training, and then he starts learning about the other elements. Season 1, maybe he's trying to really master waterbending towards the end. And then start of season 2, he starts with waterbending, and then towards the end, maybe he tries to get to the earth part. And then I would say fire for the last season. But yeah, and then towards the end of season 2, obviously, you could start Zuko's turn, because I would definitely lean more into Azula. Ozai, the ramping up of the Fire Nation. Toph, sorry, I don't know why I keep saying Toph, because I'm thinking Toph for race. Toph would definitely be introduced. I just think we would get more closer to the end in book 3. Simple is the defeat of the Fire Nation. Aang has to start learning the fire elements to get ready to face Ozai. So that would be how I would plan out, for the most part, an Avatar series, if I were to do a Netflix series. But yeah, I'm hoping the Netflix one doesn't get one, but this is just ideally, if I would try to make the show good and get people into it. And I think that's the thing. If you're going to do an adaptation, the idea I'd also want to do is get people to still want to watch the original series. Because the fact that they could tell you a great story in 20 minutes versus a Netflix series, which is an hour. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to review the show, but just quick thoughts. Shogun. It's on Hulu. The first episode is over an hour. And I was hooked. So I'm not against, like, a show needs to only be 20 minutes to be good. Like, no. One of my favorite shows, Buffy, is like 40 minutes. Like, standard shows like 40 minutes to an hour. If it's really good, I can be into it. That's why I think a Netflix series of Avatar, if they did it right, would work. Because I think you could make a prestige series of Avatar. I actually think you can. Get better water and fire effects and earth effects. I think it could work. And yeah, that's all I would do. And the other thing, I would definitely try to get people who can get a really good fight choreographer. Because the choreography of the Netflix series is so bad. You got to make sure the choreography is great. So I would try to get, like, choreographers who could do, like, pretty much martial arts movies. Like, ideally, that would be a kind of choreographer I would go for. Is that, So, anyway, guys, I don't want to, like, make this one too long. Just wanted to talk about this really quick. I will say, as much as I don't like bad content, sometimes I do like it in the sense, because it gives me an opportunity to make videos like these. I mean, the shitty when MK 2021 came out, Halloween Ends, Scream 5, Jurassic World Dominion, all these bad movies. I'm like, you know what? Let me put my creative hat on. I'm like, I can come up with a better scenario for this movie or this show. And it's like, so sometimes I'm happy when this happens, because I can give my creative. Guys, don't get me wrong, I like to rant, but I do like offering solutions too. Because, especially with these certain franchises, I don't like tooting my own horn, but it's just, a lot of what I pitch, it's just simple shit that they should already be doing. It's like, it should just be simple. Like, yeah, make sure Aang, Katara, and Sokka have fucking chemistry. Like, that's not rocket science. These are 3 characters you follow, and you're going to be following for 8 to 10 episodes. You better make sure they have goddamn chemistry, because you're going to be following, and not just 8 to 10 episodes. If I get it was really good, you would get 3 seasons of this show. So that's 20-something episodes if you add them together. A season if it was all 8 episodes, because it would be 16 episodes for 2 seasons. and then I think it'd be 24 episodes altogether. So, like, you gotta make sure, because that's still a lot of hours. You just put all of that together, too. So it's, no, man, I gotta make sure it's good. So I just saw, like, but so at least when Hollywood does fuck up, I do get a chance to do these pitches. Because, yeah, like, I think, or these fixings, like, because it should, so gives my creative hat give me a chance to put my creative hat on. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that really quick. Tomorrow, gotta thank my friend Cowman. I'm throwing him under the bus here totally. I really didn't know what I was gonna do for Bad Movie Wednesday this week, so he found me one. It's called Bulletproof Monk. I have actually seen this. It was as a kid though, and I didn't really remember it. I almost forgot it even existed, to be honest. So I was in a Discord call with him, and we were watching it, and he put it on, and goaded me to basically to review it. And so yeah, I'm gonna be reviewing that tomorrow. I'm actually gonna probably watch it again, just to kind of refresh myself in it again before I review it. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it again. Just give it another watch really quick, probably tomorrow. And then yeah, I'll review it tomorrow. If not, I might even just say fucking review it in the morning. We'll see. I'll see how I'm feeling. I'm either because there might just be a part of me that just might say fucking just because I still pretty much remember the movie. So I may not have to. I'll see how I'm feeling because I might want to. We'll see. But yeah, so I'll be doing that. I don't know what I'm doing Thursday yet. I'm gonna figure out because it's gonna be a Statham movie. I just gotta figure out. And then Friday I'm gonna be removing a movie. I'm planning on going to see this movie called Land of Bad. I just gotta see it. I gotta figure out first if I don't have work Friday, but if I don't, then I'm planning on. And then Saturday I'll either try to find like a Screen Rant article or something. But that's at least up till Saturday is my ideal what I got going on this week. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna call it here. I actually not gonna lie, I love these fixings. Just because it's just fun to do. Like, it's just fun to, like, same with the pitches. Like, it's just fun to just put, like, my creative hat on and just think about what I could do with these franchises if I were to own it, or taking this piece of shit product and actually trying to make it good. Anyway, guys, call it here. Talk to y'all later. Peace.